All right, and finally an application. So here we're talking about the area of a rectangle. And so we're given the area of a rectangle. A rectangular backyard is x squared minus 3x minus 40 yards. And that should actually be yards squared there. All right, and then, so square yards. If the width is x plus 5 yards, find the binomial that represents the length. Okay, so remember that area of a rectangle is length times width, right? And so if we're trying to find the length, then what would we do? If we're trying to solve for L, how would we do that? Well, we'd have to get rid of W, right? So we want to think of what operation is W is happening between the W and the L, and of course that's multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplying by W? That's right, dividing by W. So we divide by W on both sides, and we get length equals area divided by width. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to do. We want to take the area, x squared minus 3x minus 40, and divide it by the width, which is x plus 5. Okay, so this will give us the length. So we have the area divided by the width. And so, of course, we know how to do that in terms of long division. All right, and so now we set up our long division problem. Now we can divide. So we're going to do x squared divided by x, and that gives us x. So now we multiply. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x, positive 5x. So now we're going to subtract, so we change the signs, right? This turns to a negative, and this turns to a negative. So these cancel out, and here we get negative 3x minus 5x, which is negative 8x. Bring down the negative 40. Okay, and so now we take this and divide it by the first term in our divisor, right? So the first term down here divided by the first term in our divisor. So negative 8x divided by x is negative 8. Okay, so we put a minus 8 up there, and then we distribute. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Okay. And so now we're going to change the signs as we subtract, right? So this changes to a positive 8x. And this changes to a positive 40. So these cancel out, and so do these. So our remainder is 0. So the length is x minus 8. And don't forget your units. If we're talking about length, those are one-dimensional units, so our units are just going to be yards. All right, so the length of that backyard is x minus 8 yards. So now if we know what x is, we can find the length. We can calculate the length. All right, let me know if you have any questions. And remember, on Friday and Monday, you're going to have a wonderful guest teacher, Ms. Wren, one of my favorite teachers of all time, one of the best teachers at Academy of all time, let alone math teachers. So, yeah, she knows everything there is to know about mathematics and Academy. And so definitely enjoy having her. And hopefully you won't be too disappointed when I return. And a little plug for the test. Don't forget to study for the test. I plan on posting a review video, so watch that and be ready for the test, which is on Tuesday of next week.